A visit to China by a British Prime Minister is always a diplomatic high-wire act. Leaders are pressed on what they have said, and when, about human rights, including whether there might be any reprieve for Jimmy Lai, the British citizen imprisoned in Hong Kong. There won't be. They are also challenged on Beijing's growing aggression towards Taiwan, a territory vital to global economic stability. And, ultimately, there is the core question that justifies the trip in the first place. What meaningful trade deals, if any, were actually secured? Sir Keir Starmer may be breathing a sigh of relief. Despite the fanfare, his meeting with President Xi Jinping, set against the grandeur of Beijing's Great Hall of the People, passed without incident or embarrassment. Foreign Office officials will no doubt be congratulating themselves for securing a full hour of Xi's time, an improvement on the meagre 40-minute slot previously offered. For a Prime Minister whose career has been marked more by platitudes than policy, Xi's vague call to rise above differences would have sounded reassuring. Yet on closer inspection, Starmer has little to show for the visit. While a handful of the 60 business leaders who accompanied him may return with modest commercial agreements, the fundamental reality remains unchanged. Beijing does not reward those it regards as supplicants. In a characteristically abrupt intervention, Donald Trump declared overnight that it was very dangerous for the UK to do business with China, despite the fact that he himself is due to visit Beijing in the coming weeks. If Britain wants to be taken seriously by global power brokers, whether in Washington or Beijing, it must begin investing in real leverage of its own. At one level, this is about military strength. If the UK and its European allies were better able to meet their defence needs domestically, they would be less dependent on an unpredictable United States. Likewise, if Britain maintained more than a token naval presence, currently just 2 patrol ships, in the Indo-Pacific, it could play a far more credible role in deterring aggression over Taiwan. The urgency of investing in Britain's military and industrial capacity has rarely been clearer. But protecting national interests is not only about hard power. It also requires effective soft power, not the superficial kind rooted in cultural exports like Premier League football or Harry Potter, but influence built through sustained presence, strategic partnerships, and long-term engagement. This is especially true in developing countries, where relationships forged through aid, education, healthcare, and infrastructure can last for generations. When those ties weaken, influence does not simply disappear. It passes to others,